Welcome to day 3 of 12 days to published. And I'm Irene Gabelnick. I'm the CEO of The Power of Writing. And like Carrie Bradshaw knows shoes, I know books. So I know a lot about writing. I've been a writer for, I guess, most of my life, professionally for a few years now. I've written over a dozen books. And I want you to get published. If you're watching this, you're probably watching this because you want to write a book and you want to become a published author. So as a special holiday gift to you, I'm giving you 12 tips to get published. If you want my 5 top tips, you can hit the link below and you can download my free video where I share my 5 top secrets to getting published fast. But if you watched day 1 and 2, then you know that in this episode, I'm going to share yet another way to eliminate the overwhelming, daunting feeling of writing your first book. I know I felt overwhelmed. It took me a long time from the day that I decided to write my first book. In fact, let me tell you the story about that. When my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer, I wrote a bucket list. I mean, like that week, I was just like, when you hear your best friend, your sister, we were like practically Irish twins, 18 months apart, and it really makes you think about your life and what you've accomplished and what you want to do in your life. One of the things I did, I wrote a bucket list, and one of the top things on my list was to climb a mountain. So within 6 weeks, I picked the highest peak in the Northeast region in New York State, and we trained every week, and we climbed to the top of the mountain, Mount Washington. No, we didn't drive the treacherous drive. We actually hiked up the mountain, and I did it. I climbed my first mountain, and a few years went by. Fortunately, she passed away. One of the things I did not know that my sister Natalie had always wanted to write a book, and when she passed on, her significant other let me, go through her stuff, and he said, take whatever you want, any books that you want, take them. And she had so many books about publishing and writing, and she had mentioned it, but I really had no clue how much she really wanted to become a published author, and she never had that chance. So I revisited my bucket list a few years later, and I saw that I still had not gotten published. So I started writing articles, I started a blog, and in 2017, a couple years ago, I decided, okay, this is the year I'm going to write and publish my first book. So, months went by. It was like the middle of summer. I was on vacation. I thought, I'm going to do it now. And things kept coming up. And by the end of that year, it was December, like it is now when I'm recording this video. And I was like, oh my gosh, the year's almost over and I haven't done it. And I had to do it. I had to do it. So in 2 weeks, I wrote, published, and sold my very first copy of my first book. It was a weight loss book, and I did a ton of research, and I got a graphic designer to do the cover, and I did the outline, and I just researched for hours on how to do it the best way. I researched my market, and I did it. But the good news is you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours to publish your first book, because I'm giving you 12 days to publish, okay, free resources. And if you want my top 5, if you go to my website, download that video where I share my top 5 secrets to getting published fast. So believe me, okay, as a single mom with 2 kids, and I was a realtor at the time and started my blog, and if I could do it with all the holidays and the shopping and all the parties and everything going on, believe me, if I can do it in 2 weeks, so can you. So if you are determined to become a published author by the end of this year, watch my video training, watch this series, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications if you want to get the upcoming videos, if you want to be notified, and you can do it. So And even if you do it next year, I mean, that's fine. But I was determined, okay, if 2019, if you want to bring in that new year, that decade as a published author to gain more impact, more influence in your business, to become an expert and easily land media exposure on the radio and interviews, publishing your first book is a great way to do it. So now for my tips. So one of the best ways to study your market and to create content for your book is to go to Amazon and just Google in your genre the top selling books in your niche. So for me, it was weight loss. So I just Googled top selling, or actually in Amazon, I did a search inside Amazon, top selling books in weight loss. And I started reading all of the reviews. So the best reviews to read are the 3 and 4, maybe even the 2-star reviews. You don't want to read the 1-star because those people, obviously just hated the book or weren't that interested in taking that content and using it. But you want the people who read the book, who really are serious about solving their problem, and they're very interested in the content, but they're maybe giving you that 1 or 2 things that was missing in the book, something that you can find the answer and solution to, that you can now put into your book to make your book a little bit better, or to solve a problem that maybe someone isn't solving, okay, in your market. So that kind of gives you a unique selling proposition that no one else is doing. Okay, so it kind of separates you or puts you a step, maybe not even above, but just differentiates you from the crowd. Makes you stand out to get your book sold, to get your book in the hands of as many people as possible. So that's one way. The other thing is that if you're not a subscriber to Amazon Kindle, so you can do it monthly or you can pay it annually, but what I did when I Kindle Unlimited, when I'm researching a book, I like to look at a lot of the other books in my genre and see what they're creating, read their content, look at what people are buying, right? Look at the top selling books in your industry, because now you can get really good idea what your market is looking for. And again, find out what's lacking in the book so that you can make your book a little bit different or a little bit better. And what I found that really, really made me feel like, wow, I really am an expert, is as I was going through. So if you do the unlimited, it's like a lending library. It's like $12 a month or something. I don't even remember. They just auto pay. And you can cancel it. You can even just do it for a month or 2 and cancel it at any time. But it's so beneficial because now you have access to up to 10 books in your lending library. So if you're done with one, or and you want to add another one, you just take one out of your lending library, add another one in. You're not spending a lot of money on books that you're just doing research on, right? I mean, you could buy them, but when you're going through so many, it really just kind of gets the job done to go through, look at how they format their chapters, look at how the content they're giving. And what you'll find is if you really are an expert in your industry, is you're going to already know a lot of this information. And it's really going to make you feel like, wow, I really am an expert. I really do know this stuff. I really am an authority in this topic, and I can do this. I can do this. So that for me was such a relief. Like, wow, I really, really know my stuff. There's nothing new here. There isn't anything in here that I'm reading that I don't already know. And there was maybe a few things here and there interesting, and things that I, of course, can bring to the table that I wasn't finding in other books. So that was when I wrote my first book, a weight loss book, Zipping It Up, How to Lose 5 Pounds Fast and Look Great in That Little Black Dress. So you also want to sell the benefit to your reader. So we'll talk a little bit more about book covers and how to design them later. But I just want you to study your market, read the reviews, create great content for your book, and just look at what what other people in your industry are doing. It's really, really helpful, super beneficial, and those are my top tips today for overcoming the overwhelm of writing your first book. That should be enough to get you started and give you some action and some actionable things you can do today to start writing your book today. Go ahead and watch day 1 and day 2 for even more great information on how to start writing your book. I offer a free 5 top steps video that I put together on my website, and also as a gift you can go to the Power of Writing and download your free, actually I think I'm going to try to put those together, and 10 easy steps to write and publish your book today. So just hit the link below for that information, and watch out for day 4 where I'm going to share even more valuable information to help you get published if you want by the end of 2019. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Actually, I am. I just decided, let's talk about your book cover, because your book cover is super important. And once you create your book cover, now you can start marketing and promoting your book before you've even written it. Okay? If you have your book cover, and we can talk about how to find a graphic designer to do it. You can do it yourself. Experts do not recommend you do that, but I've created a couple myself that I think were pretty good. But I just, I paid a graphic designer to do my first book, and it's easier, it saves time. So in day 4, we're going to talk about the book cover of your book, and about creating the title. Okay, so that's it. Watch out for the next video. And did I mention I really want a Peloton? Santa, I really want a Peloton.